So we'll talk about salary surveys. We'll talk about how do we collate data, how do we analyze data, and then how do we design a pay structure, then some of the analytics in terms of comp ratio, red circle, blue circle, what is their significance, what is their relevance with respect to compensation. Okay, again another very technical kind of a session, which which is interesting, might be a little new if you have not done earlier, but we will try and make it really very simple and at the same time enjoyable, and easily you can actually apply this in your organization. All right, having said that, I needed to take 5 minutes or 10 minutes to complete um, one method. Yeah. So we needed to cover one method, which is called the Hayes method. I'm sure all of you have heard the Hayes method of job evaluation. Now, in fact, the Hay method is exactly the way what we did in the point plan. What does it have? It has compensable factors. It has points, weightages, and points. Now, accepting that, when you do a Hayes method, then you actually have to ask the Hayes people, you have to invite them to do this because it is a patented method. All right. And it comes with what the compensable factors. So, what are those compensable factors? As per the Hayes method, you have three compensable factors: know-how, problem solving, and accountability. In the last session, when we did point plan, we actually determined the compensable factors based on the organization. Okay. But here, when you're using a Hayes method, it is fixed. You cannot change these compensable factors. Under know-how, then you have three sub-compensable factors. What are they? The technical know-how, the managerial know-how, and the human relationship skills. So when you talk about these three, the technical is the technical part of the skills, managerial is the leadership, etc., and the human relation is the people-centered, people-related skills. So under know-how, you have three sub-compensable factors. Under problem solving, you have two sub-compensable factors: the thinking environment and the analytical. And under accountability, you have three, which is again freedom to act, impact, and magnitude. Now, what happens when you use this job evaluation as per the Hayes methodology? You have predetermined, it comes like, for example, under accountability, you have the points already made. Under, okay. No. Okay. So likewise, in the Hayes methodology, you have for all the three compensable factors of know-how, problem solving, accountability. And then you compute the total point value for every job and do exactly the way we did in session 2, job evaluation. Okay? Accepting that it is all predetermined. You don't have to determine the compensable factors. You don't have to do the weightages. You don't have to create a point plan. It all comes predetermined. All right? Okay, guys. If any of you want to know a lot more about Hayes methodology and Hayes evaluation, there's already reading material given by Wilma, which is very extensive. You can go through it, and if you still have some kind of a benefit of doubt, some clarity required, they can definitely text us. Okay, but it is exactly the way we did it in the last session, point plan method of doing a calculating the total point value for every job, taking market data, and then doing the regression, calculating slope and intercept, and then finding the pay line salary. All right. Okay. Having said that, let's come to the main topic of today. We're talking about what? External equity. First of all, how do you understand? What do you understand by external equity? Means establishing in comparison with market, where am I? Positioning myself. Okay. So when we talk about external equity, how do we establish? We actually do market salary surveys. What is it we do? Salary surveys. Now, the most important thing when you are actually collecting data from the market, there are certain things which you need to understand. What is that? A, market data. Tell me, what kind of companies do you think typically, if you were to do some to know how competitive you are within your organization as to how you pay your salaries, what kind of companies will you look at?
Similar
What
kind
will
of
be the
industries.
pardon? Yeah,
Similar kind of
Similar
industries.
companies in a similar
similar
industries.
kind. That means similar
Yeah.
industry, right? That is
Yeah.
one. Then to whom are you losing? It is not necessary that when people are, exiting from your organization, people must be joining. So your similar skill sets must be also be employed by some industries which may not be in similar industry. Okay. So you also will look at that. Also, from where are you actually getting people from? What type of industries are you getting? So that's one. Similar. Then location or geography. If you are actually located in a particular region and you want to recruit people, right? So pan India, then you look at pan India data. Middle East, then you look at Middle East data. Say, for example, let me take an example of Satish. He works in Dubai. Okay. So obviously, from where will he get talent from? Within Dubai. But maybe in Dubai, then it is limited to only Dubai because there will be all, visa issues, passport issues. So he may not necessarily look at a same industry, but he might look at similar skill sets. Okay. Are you with me, Satish? Because
Yes,
you
sir.
are constrained by the location as well. Okay.
Yes.
Now, if I'm in India, then I'm looking at, say, at a lower level, then what will I do? Hey, typically, where am I getting talent? Am I getting from this particular location? Say, if I'm in Bangalore, then you will look at, data from Bangalore only. You won't look at pan India data because it might be a mismatch. So you need to look at all these things when you are actually collecting data. Then what kind of data will you collect? What kind of data will you collect?
Median
You collect
salary.
When we are
salary,
talking
benefits.
about, no. So in the sense, I'm not components or what elements of the compensation data will you look at? Will you collect? So you will definitely collect base salary. What is the organization paying as a fixed salary, guaranteed pay? You will also, if you look at all the components which we talked about, you will look at what kind of incentives are they paying. That is variable pay. You will look at what kind of
Allowances.
benefits are they paying. So why? It will help you to benchmark with your own organization. When you are saying benefits, you can compare. When you are saying variable incentives, you can compare. Long-term incentives, short-term incentives, right? Even pay for time not worked, are they giving other than mandatory, are they giving over and above anything? What are the other perks and benefits are they giving? So you will typically collect all these components, both monetary and non-monetary. We talked about monetary direct pay. You'll collect base salary, you will collect variable pay, you will collect deferred pay, and you will also collect benefits, perquisites, etc. Okay. Now, the key question I'm asking, when you collect the data, can I use it just as the way I collect data, or I need to do some kind of an analysis?
You have to do analysis.
So the challenging thing here is we collect data and we do analysis. Okay, that's the most interesting part of the salary. Now, after we collect data, then what we will say, hey, where do I want to position? That will be my compensation philosophy. What does it mean? That do I want to really lead? Do I want to lag? Or you want to be on par? So we talked about three kind of positions which organizations take depending on the market data. What is that? Lead, lag, and on par. Okay. Now, what is lead? Anybody?
It means paying above the market.
Yeah. So that means I will look at market, what is the market paying, and always market data is 50th percentile, that is median data. We'll talk about it. We'll explain to you what is the median data. And then it says, okay, I want to pay more than the market. What is lag?
Pay below the market.
Pay below what the market is paying. And the third position is on par. That means paying what the market is paying.
Right.
Now, organizations typically, what will they do? They will say, hey, not across all the positions in the organization they want to lead. They may like to lead for 5 or 10% of the positions which are critical, whose skills are valued. So I might want to lead. Depending on the availability of talent, the supply and demand, like say, for example, facilities, HR, finance, where the availability is good amount, supply is good, and the demand is not much. I might say I want to be on par, or maybe, less than the market. So depending on your need, your context, you will actually position yourself. It does not mean that, okay, the market is paying X amount, that I would also like to pay the same amount. All right. It is a company's philosophy and a pay policy. So this is called pay policy. What is pay policy? Depending on the market, what is the position I take? Lead, lag, or on par. Now, how do you establish that? You have to look at certain positions. So what happens when you are collecting data? You are looking at either 30 or 40% of your positions, or maybe critical positions. You are actually looking at certain positions across all the job fabrics. Once you do that, then what will you do? You will be then matching these positions with their job descriptions with the market, which is called matching, job matching, which is the most critical aspect of salary survey. Now, tell me, why is matching of jobs is very, very critical? Anybody? Yeah?
Because then only
When
we
you
can compare. Then only we can
Pardon?
compare between the jobs.
Yeah,
If it is not
absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, if you recall, so it's very, very important to have a match of at least 70 to 80% of your job description matching with the peer company with which data you want to compare. Why? If you only look at titles, titles could be inflated, right? If you only have a mismatch of just 60% or 40%, then probably, the responsibilities could be lower, the responsibilities could be higher. So therefore, it's very important. And It's very critical to have a match of 70 to 80%. And what match are you looking at? The responsibilities. What is the impact? What is the complexity? What are the responsibilities? Everything in terms of what we did in job evaluation, you are actually going to match all that. Let me actually take you to any of you, have you seen a survey, market survey? Let me take you to market survey
Yes,
so that,
I have seen.
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, the data which I'm going to show you might be a little older, but since it is very easy to understand, so I thought I will show you this data, which is much easier for you. Okay, let me just. So, just listing out what the kind of data we look at in a salary survey. We look at titles, we look at compensation data in terms of base salary, variable pay, total cash compensation, long term incentives, then all the organization details like industry, company size. Why is company size relevant here? Why is it critical?
It could be if it is
Because
if the company is actually a startup or something like that, then you have to.
because
See,
the
if you are actually, yeah, somebody was, I think Anita was
yeah,
wanting to say.
Srijoni, actually. Yeah, because we
Yeah,
actually
Srijani.
compare the same range of companies actually. Because it's a small industry or like in a big industry, then we can compare the data, job evaluation data or basic salaries we can compare. That's why it will be
Absolutely.
difficult to compare actually.
So if you are actually a 500 crore company and you are
Yes,
comparing
yes.
yourself with a
So it's based on the
50,000 crore company, the size is so different that it does not compare, right? So it will be a mismatch again. And we are looking at location, all right? Then we said we looked at benefits, we looked at market trends, etc. All right? Now, when we are looking at compensation data, now we also s- look at what we call as benchmark jobs. So what are benchmark jobs?
These are jobs that we are matching to, ma'am, where the responsibilities or the responsibilities are matching each other.
So typically when we talk about benchmark jobs, if you recall in our last session, benchmark jobs are those jobs which are consistent. See, if you have a job which is, changing because there's so much fluctuation in the market, then if you're going to match it with in the market, then it will be so difficult to match because it's constantly changing. You may be matching now, and then suddenly the job has changed. So typically, when you are comparing jobs, you need to compare those jobs, 40 or 50% of the jobs which are there in the organization, which are stable over a period of time. So these are called benchmark jobs. Okay. Now, having said that, let me, you have to understand certain statistical terms. What are those statistical terms you need to understand? One is median. What is a median? When we actually talk about collecting data, median data. What do you understand by median data? Let me just stop share and use yeah.
Yeah, median is like you can say average.
Anybody else?
So it's the midpoint, as in if we arrange the data in a particular order, like ascending order, then the middle value is the median of that data set.
Yeah. Say, for example, I'm writing data like, 12, 6, 8, 10, 9, 4, 2, okay, 14. This is a set of data, right? So when I say the median, how will I find out a median? First of all, I have to set this data in either ascending order or descending order. Okay. So can we put it in ascending or descending order? So it will be 2, then
4,
4,
6,
then 6,
6,
then
8,
8,
10,
then
9.
9,
10,
then
and
10, sorry, then 12, then
14.
okay. So there is a formula for how to find out a median. What is the formula? N plus 1 divided by 2. So where n represents the number of sets of data. So how many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So n is how much?
8,
8.
Plus 1.
Then plus 1, which will be equal to
9,
9. Okay. Divided by
2.
2.
2,
So it will be
4.5.
what?
4.5.
4.5. Now, 9 is odd, right? So 4.5. That means your median is between 1, 2, 3,
8 to 9.
4. So your median is between 8 plus, okay, 8
9.
plus
9.
9, which is equal to
17.
17 divided by
2.
2, which is equal to
8.5.
8.5. Okay. So, but say for example, I don't have 14 here, or I'll remove 2 here. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay.
4.
So n is 7. Huh?
Median is 4.
Plus
9. Sorry.
plus 1, which is equal to
8
8
divided by
divided by 2,
4.
which will be 4. So that means if I'm not having this data too, 1,
9.
2, 3, 4. So my median is
9.
9. Okay. So typically when you collect salary data, you collect what? Median data. Why? Because it takes care of your outliers. Say, for example, if I were to use average, average is not a good representative which takes into consideration the outlier data. Okay. Now, you can't take min. What is min? Say, for example, min and max of a salary range, which is, say, a salary range is the 10, I'll say 8,000 is your min. Okay. Then 12,000 is your max. All right. So what will be your midpoint here?
10,000.
10,000. Very good. Okay. Okay. All right. So everybody is clear about what is median data, right? Huh? What is average?
average is the
What
total
is
sum.
mean? What is mean data?
Mean is
When we talk
Median.
about mean data, average data, it is sum
Of total.
of
all
all
numbers.
numbers divided by
of all the numbers divided by
number of
divided by
data.
number of
Data.
number of units, right?
Yeah.
Or sets of data. Is this very clear? There's a difference between mean data, median data. Now, what is mode?
Most repeated data in the row.
Absolutely. Most repeated data. Here, do you have any mode here?
No.
No data is being repeated. All
Single.
not a single data which is being repeated. Okay. All right, guys. I want you all to go to this. You have one exercise here, Excel.
So what you see here is, these are the X company. This is a technology company which wants to do benchmark for their 3 set of roles. So for example, we have taken 3 set of role: software engineer grade 1, software engineer grade 2, and software manager. And what the company has given is the salary range, the min and the max. This is the salary range for each of the levels that they have given. And vis-a-vis, they want to know what is their market position. So for the purpose of benchmarking, what has been done? Similar 9 set of companies has been identified, which are of similar business line within the same geographies that they're going to benchmark, and we have collected the data. So the first important thing is to collect the data, right? Then only you can go ahead with your analysis. So for the purpose of collecting the data, what has been done? See? So from each company, this is the data set of first company, wherein we have gathered the data for software grade, senior software grade, and software manager. See how many data? From each company, for each role, we have gathered at least 9-10 datas. Now after and see, even the role categories are different. Somewhere they are software engineer, somewhere they are software developer 1, software engineer, software developer, So the role titles might change, the category might change, but the experience range remains the same that is required for that position. So we have picked all software engineer guys who are freshers 1 to 2 years of experience and their salary. Because when you are doing the benchmarking from open source, you will not get the job description. What you get is the job role title, the experience range, and the pay scale, and the max and the average salary. So this is what you can capture from the open source. Open source could be salary.com, Glassdoor, right? And many other from open source data you can collect. So this is how the data has been collected. Once the data has been collected, you have to take the midpoint data. You cannot take the average data. If you take the average data, the data might go wrong. So you have to take the midpoint. As madam had already explained you take the midpoint data. So for the midpoint data, you can do the calculation on the Excel sheet and you get the midpoint data. So this is the midpoint data which has been collected for all the roles. So here the midpoint is 4.6, for here the midpoint is 7.4, here the midpoint is 10.9. So this is your data point for each of the roles for this company. So see, for this company, here we have changed the data, we have not picked exact data. So here, from there, after doing the calculation, you put the midpoint value. So accordingly, the midpoint value of each data point for each of these companies has been gathered from your data sheet, which is a humongous data sheet which you have to work prior to doing all these analysis. So once this data point is captured, you are ready to go for the analysis. Then what you do? You have to calculate the minimum, P25, P50, midpoint, P75, and the max for these data.
So you
market data.
can I just pause? So you just explain to them what they have to do in this assignment, then and then give me time to just explain how do they calculate the percentile.
Yes.
Okay, then they will do this exercise.
Right.
Okay.
So the question here is, the data set has already been provided to you. The pre-work has already been done. Now the task is that I have just put the numbers here. I'll remove it. They have to do the calculation, right? So here you have to calculate minimum, P25, P50, P75, maximum from the market data. Don't include the company data. Only this range. Okay. This range, not the market data. This is not, because you are taking the market percentile, not the company data. So once that data is collected, then you take out the company market position. You do the percent ranking, and then you will get the what is your rank in the market vis-a-vis your comparators. Then you go ahead with your analysis and recommendation. Then you get to know whether you are below the market, above the market, or mid of the market, right? So this I will remove. I have given you the blank sheet. You have to use your blank sheet. This is only for explanation purpose. I have put the figures here. Okay. And then you have to create the scatter graph, the pictorial, and draw the pay line. Okay. So this is the task.
The first step, what we have done here is actually we had the minimum and the maximum salaries of these positions here, and then we were to find out the midpoint. So the midpoint was found out by using a formula wherein we added up both these values and divided by 2, and we got the midpoint. So this is how we got the midpoint. And then here also the same formula was done to find the accounts department's midpoint salary data. And then we were given 9 companies median salary data from the market survey, which is this. This is actually in this 5.89 means it is in lakhs, whereas this is already in lakhs. And then the assignment was to find out the minimum from the salary market data, and then the 25th percentile, 50th percentile, 75th percentile, and the maximum. So the minimum was found by giving the formula of minimum and then selecting all 9 companies' salary market data, median salary data, and then we got the minimum. And then the 25th percentile was identified by using the formula percentile, and array is the salary data, and then it is the 25th, so it is 0.25. And then we've got the 25th percentile. Likewise, we found the 50th percentile, 75th, and the maximum. Maximum was, the formula used was max, and then selection of all company data. So we got the maximum. And then we were to find the percentile rank of these companies. So the percentile rank was identified by using percentile rank formula, percentile rank, and then selecting all these data. And then since the market midpoint is 3 lakhs, we have given 3, and the significance was left out blank, and we were not able to get the company's position percentile because this company is already paying lesser than the market minimum. So which was written here as an analysis, and then we have, through the discussions, we have come to our recommendations wherein the salary is to be revised to 500,000. So likewise, all positions percentile ranking was identified, it was analyzed, and a new salary was recommended. So this was one exercise. The second was the same, but for an accounts positions, 3 positions were given: junior accountant, senior accountant, and manager accounts. In the similar way, we identified the midpoint data by adding up both minimum and maximum and dividing it by 2. And then we identified the minimum by using the formula minimum, which is again min, and then the salary market median, like this. then identified 25th percentile, 50th percentile, 75th, and the maximum. And the company's positioning is actually on the 20th percentile. And our analysis was the talent availability in the market is sufficient and no changes to be made. So we recommended to keep it as 320,000 itself. And on the second position, the company's percentile rank was 34.5. The talent availability in the market is sufficient and no changes to be made, because this company is actually paying above the current salaries median data. And the third position was paid less than the market minimum. So we've recommended for a correction of 900,000. That was for the manager accounts. So this was the benchmarking exercise that we have done actually yesterday.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Sadish. Good job done.
Because this is a very interesting exercise, which is absolutely practical. She has given you two positions. She has given you market data. Now, depending on where I want to position myself vis-a-vis the market, you have to calculate. So what does it mean? So whenever you collect data, okay, say for example, I've collected salary data. Say I'm starting a software developer at an entry level. I want to pay a certain salary. Say, for example, typically we talk about percentile. Have you heard of percentile? Anybody? Huh?
Yes.
Percentile.
Yes.
Is there a difference between percentage and percentile? Is there a
Yes.
difference between
Yes.
percentage and
Yes.
Ritu gets 80% in maths, okay? Avik gets 60% in maths. Don't mind, Avik, I gave you less marks, okay? Sadish gets 90% in maths. What is this percent? 90%. This is absolute. He got 90 marks, you got 60 marks, Ritu gets. But now when I say, hey, Sadish is at a 90th percentile, Avik is at a 60th percentile, it is different. That means it is, you recall, relative. One is absolute and the other is relative. Okay.
Relative.
So when we talk about percentile, say for example, I say, okay, 35th percentile. What does it mean? That means 35 companies or 35 people are getting what? Lower or higher? I'm at a 35th percentile. That means 35 companies are getting
Higher.
lower.
Oh,
And
Higher.
I'm at a
lower.
35. And 60, how much?
60,
When you minus
65.
100 minus 35.
65 people are getting higher.
Higher. If I say I'm at a 90th percentile, that means 10
10 or higher.
people are higher and 90 people are
Lower than you.
Well,
okay. Now, why should you convert your data into a relative format? Tell me first of all. Why should you convert your compensation data into a relative format? Say, for example, Ritu has actually, she's working for Tata and she's saying, I want to know where am I vis-a-vis the market, and she has collected 10 companies' data. But every company has an absolute data, right? But now how will I compare standalone data? So I have to convert it into a percentile format. That means a relative format. Got it? I'm just trying to help you with the logic. So, for example, I'm a software company who wants to what? Recruit or who wants to hire software developers at an entry level at a 90th percentile of the market. But I don't know how much is market paying at a 90th percentile. That means I want to be paying, only 10 companies should be paying above. 90 companies are paying below. Okay. Now what will I do? I have to first of all collect data, right? So I have collected data from A to Q. These are all names of companies. How many companies are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever. So, 15. I have collected
13.
data. I have collected what? Market data. A is paying how much? Somebody quickly, please. 22,000 per month.
1,000.
Huh?
22,000.
Okay. What is Q paying? Q company? Ritu?
Who is paying 19,000?
19,000. So you got it. B is paying 17,000. Now, I cannot analyze this data and say which is my 90th percentile. Simple. What do you need to do? Convert this into a percentile. Percentile. What will you do? Go to formula. Insert function. Then, are you seeing here percentile?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Asking me array. What will I do? Which is my array of data?
The data, salary data.
C, column C.
Got it? Now 90th percentile. So that means K will become what? 0.9. Okay. Let me put it here. Oh, sorry. I should not do that. How much?
23,400.
So this is your 90th percentile data. The value of 90th percentile is how much? 23,400. Now, just again, I will do one more. You want to know 50th percentile. Okay, let me do this. Then insert function, percentile. Okay, array. What will I put here?
0.5.
0.5.
Very good. So, what is the pay data at a 50th percentile?
18,000.
18,000.
18,000. Now, this is the percentile. Now, when you do percent rank, what does it mean? That means your data is divided from 0 to 1. Say, for example, which is your lowest data? Data which represents 0. That is 14,000. Okay. And which is your highest data? 1, which is actually 34,000. All right. Now, when you look at market data always, you always have something called P50. That is your what? Median data. That is your. So what is your median data here? P50. Now, why do you need to know P50? Because every company, when it pays salary, it looks at market's median data. Got it? Okay. Now, if you think for some positions you want to pay more, then you will look at P75 or P60 or P80. Okay. But if you want to pay more, you can look at 90th percentile. So that's how you divide it. P50, P75, P. You can also say Q1 quartile, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So Q1 will be from where? 0 to 25th percentile. Q2 will be?
Up to 50th percentile. 25th to 50th.
25th to 50th percentile. Q3 will be?
Up to 75. 50 to
50th to 75th percentile. Q4 will be 75th to 100th. Good companies typically pay what? Q2 or Q3. Got it?
Okay.
Because they want to attract and retain talent. Now, when we talk about the market data, now I'll also give you that funda. Now, this is your 18,000. Okay. Now, say I want to give P75. Then P75 will become my midpoint when I'm building ranges. So I will explain to you and I will give you data. Right now, just understand only this part of it, okay? Because then it will become complicated as to what is median and what is midpoint and when do you use. Median is market data. Midpoint is your salary range midpoint. Got it?
Yeah, understood.
When
Ma'am, can you just show
Sorry,
how to
can you
do
please
that
say it again?
percentage rank also?
No, I'm going to show you data and then show you because otherwise you will not be able to understand. We want to go step by step. Now
Ma'am,
there
can you
is
say that statement again, please?
somebody AP. Is that Anita? You
Ma'am,
have
I
raised your
have
hand. Yeah, yeah.
when
No, I'm
Please.
you calculated column number J, which is 23400. So this is you have calculated manually for us. So what is the formula which you have used?
Mhm.
Column number
Can
J,
you put it in?
the column number J, 23400 value when you calculated,
Yeah,
which is 75th percent, sorry, 90th percentile. How did you calculate
simple.
the
See,
data?
all that you need to do is whatever percentile you want, whether it is 20th percentile, 30th percentile, use your insert function. Okay, got it? Huh? Let me cancel this. Go to formula, go to insert function. All right. And
You have to select a different.
let me cancel this. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Now I'll keep your insert function. Got it? Percentile. Okay. Now it is asking for area of data. Area of data will be represented by the market data you have collected. Got it? So this is your area of data. I've collected from 15 odd companies or so. Now I'm taking all this data. All right. Now I want what? 90th percentile. So what will I put? 0.9. Okay. For example, I want you tell me I will do 60th percentile. What will I do? Tell me. Insert function. Then percentile. Okay. Then area of data.
Select the salary data.
Okay. Then where I put K, what will I put? 60th percentile.
0.6.
0.6. Okay. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what does it mean? I want to clarify this, that when you collect data, why do you want to calculate P50, P75? You will calculate P75 if you want to position at 75. You will calculate 90 if you want to position at 90. Or typically, if there is a salary survey, it will be given. I will show you the salary survey also. Then what will happen? You will take the P90th data. That is, now I want to here I told you that I want to position at a 90th percentile, P90. That means I want to pay salary 23,400. So this becomes my midpoint. Are you with me? This becomes my midpoint for that salary range. This is my midpoint for which salary range? Entry level. So this, then I will create a salary range, min and max. Are you with me, guys? I'll give you the formulas later how to calculate min and max,
Why
how to
is
create
this
a
the
salary range.
midpoint? Ma'am, why is this the midpoint?
Yes, Avik. Avik,
Uh,
now,
yeah.
tell me.
I was just wondering, why is this 23,400 the midpoint?
Midpoint for soft entry level software developer.
But shouldn't
now
it be
let
18,000? Because
no
18,000 is the 50th percentile.
interesting. Yeah. Anybody else have the same query? Anybody else have the same query?
Yes.
Huh? Sadish, you also?
think-
Ma'am, I have the
Yeah.
same query, but what I understood, can I share with you? Means like the company standard have to paying 90th for the mid level.
Okay. No. So step by step, I want to just clarify. Okay. So once I finish, then if your benefit is, if your doubt is clarified, then we'll proceed. Okay. Let me just finish. Okay. Now think that Avik's company is a software company, which is a startup, which is starting. All right, Avik, got it? Now, I am now wanting to recruit entry level people. Okay. Now, what is my pay policy for entry level people? I'm saying I want to pay at a 90th percentile. Now, please hear my statement. I want to pay at a 90th percentile. What is that? Market, my positioning with the market. My positioning with the market. Internal, what is it? Job evaluation tells you how do you pay internally? But when I said I want to pay 90th percentile for software developer, what does it mean? My market positioning means if market is paying certain amount, I want to be at a 90th percentile. Very clear? So what is that 90th percentile? It's a market data. So 23,400 is a market data. Now that is my positioning. Have all of you understood? Because this nobody will tell you, and always there'll be a confusion.
So depends on
between
my
this.
policy, my recruitment policy.
Yes. I want to be at a 90th percentile positioning. Got it? So what is the pay data at a 90th percentile? What is the pay data?
90th percentile is
Pay
23,400.
data. Pay data.
20,
What is
23,400.
23,400.
Absolutely. 23,400 is the pay data, value of the pay at a 90th percentile. Now, I have picked up that at a 90th percentile. But now, this is my midpoint for creating a salary range for entry level S1, I can call it, or L1. Got it? Now I'll create a salary range in organization for a software developer. You won't have absolute. You have to create a range. You have to create min and you have to create max. And I have taken this 23,400 from the market and say this becomes now my midpoint. The 90th percentile of market data has become my midpoint for this level, and I will create a range because you have to have a salary. When I say salary range, it has a min and a max. So I can have at a low level a width spread of maybe 30% or 20%. So that means my min will be what? Midpoint, 20% minus midpoint 20% plus min and max. So I'm not going to give you the formula right now because I don't want to confuse you. I only want to tell you, hey, we have to create a salary range. Got it? Have you understood? Say
Yeah.
for example,
Yes.
maybe I will take for a manager again from the market. I will say I want to be only at a 50th percentile. That becomes my midpoint, and I will create a salary band. Or what is salary band? Salary band is nothing but a salary range with a min and a max. And that becomes my midpoint. So your percentile positioning becomes your midpoint. Very clear? Yeah, somebody, I think. Srijo, now you can tell me. Have you understood this?
Yeah, understood.
Sadish? Because
Yeah,
typically there is a confusion. How is the median used? How is the midpoint used? Nothing. The positioning or the market data is the median, and you use that market data to create your own salary band within internally, and that becomes your midpoint. Got it? We'll talk about it more.
So,
Now
ma'am,
I want you to, yeah,
ma'am,
yeah.
can I ask
Yes, Ritu.
all these data points are actually median, right? All these
Which
data
data
points are
points?
actually median.
Which
Salary,
data point? This one?
90,
22,000.
75, all the data,
Absolutely.
right?
When
These
you
are
collect market data, all of them are median data. Okay. But sometimes if you are collecting from 2-3 sources, then you can create a average data and put them. So having done that, you have collected, whenever you are collecting from the market, all your data is median data. Okay.
right.
Market
Right. But
data.
depending on wherever the company positions itself, that becomes the midpoint, is the crux.
That becomes so positioning. Got it?
Got it.
Now you want to, but you are not using absolutely like in absolute pay value 17,000, 24,000. You have converted all this into a percentile format so that they become relative, and then you are able to analyze saying that which is P50, which is P90, which is P25, right? Got it?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Then
Yeah.
you are positioning yourself. Do I want to position here? Here, here. So now I said, hey, I want to position at a 90th percentile. So now that becomes my midpoint, because you will have a person at least for 2 or 3 years in that L1 band. You have to create a band. Band is nothing but creating a salary range, min and a max, so that the person can stay there in that band for at least 2 or 3 years. And when he is staying there for 2 or 3 years, he needs to progress. Pay progression has to happen. If you have just 23,400, can pay progression happen? You are giving
No.
an increment next year. How can pay progression happen?
I will
Are
get
you with me?
stuck.
Pay progression. That's called pay progression or movement in that range. Got it? So he will be moving to that max. When either he will be promoted or it depending on his performance. Got it? Okay, stop this, and then I want you all to do that exercise, which is a very interesting exercise. I'll be there to help you all as well. So can we go to that? All of you have that. We are good to start. Okay.
Yeah.
So before I actually shift to some compensation analytics, I just want to take you all through whatever you have done. This is a published survey. It's an old report, but it will help you in understanding how a salary survey looks and how the data is presented, okay, in the percentile format. This report gives you an information of they have actually, it's a published survey, okay. So 65 positions are being benchmarked here, and data is being collected from 25 companies, all right, from 25 companies. Now, when we talked about those 65 benchmarked positions, these are those positions under different families. The families, job families here are consulting, non-consulting, marketing, administration, quality, finance, HR, sales, human resources systems. So, under these various job families, there are 65 positions. Okay. Now, they have collected data from these companies, from where these list of participants, 25 companies. So I as a company, if I buy this data, I want to compare myself. I first of all have to check, say, for example, these are all IT companies. Okay. So I also have to be an IT company. Huh? Or if I'm a chip company, chip is slightly much more, at a higher end. And most of them are most IT services. Then obviously it's not a good comparison. The data will be different. So what I'm trying to tell you is when you look at a published survey data, you need to also look at who are those list of participants, not blindly look at the data, but look at the participants who have participated, whether they can form my comparators or peer group. Only then look at the data. So these are all those companies. Okay. Then typically, if you look at, see, total guaranteed cash. So a report will also give you what does total guaranteed cash mean? What are those components which have been covered in total guaranteed cash? That is something you need to check. You may look at your total guaranteed cash, but there may not be one or two components which have been actually incorporated here. So that's one more checkpoint you need to look at, whether the components which form the total guaranteed cash are same or they are a little different. Having said that, you have just done the exercise, where you looked at data, you looked at P25. So now here, the data from 25 companies have been collated, analyzed, and put in format. What? 10p, 20p, 50p, 75p, 98p. Now, I, as a company who's bought this data, say for example, I want to look at a senior vice president director. So, just going by the title and saying, hey, where am I? Will be wrong. First of all, look at the job description, whether what you say as a senior vice president is doing the same responsibility, same impact, same complexity. So if your job matches, then see, hey, my salary, is it here? Is it here? Is it here? I have to check what you did right now. So that reference point you have to bring here and see, acha, am I paying 20 lakhs? That means supposing I'm paying 20 lakhs. So where will it be? It will be lesser than 25th percentile. If I'm paying 25 lakhs, it will be less than 50th percentile. Now, this is what the market is showing. Now, it is my decision whether I want to actually make a market correction or not, depending on whether the job is critical, whether talent supply is demand and supply of the talent. So these are the other things I will take into consideration. I will not jump into correction. I will say, hey, yes, but should I do it? It depends on your own internal stand. One is knowing where you are. The other is taking a stand where you want to be. Got it? Okay, guys. So I wanted to show you this report, okay, which is almost similar, which you all have done your work calculating all that. Okay, let's get back to now. You have to know certain things in compensation. When we talk about compensation, you talk about grade. Grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. In a narrow banding, there'll be more grades. In a broad banding, there'll be less grades. So when I say grades, there'll be certain number of positions which you all did in job grading under each grade. So all these positions under a particular grade, what do they mean? That means they are of equal worth. Okay. Now, so every grade should have what? It should have a salary band, which we did last time. So it will have a min and a max, right? So when you talk about a basic pay structure, it will have grades, then it will have what? Bands. Even if you are having point plans, so there will be cutoffs, and then you will create what? Bands out of those points. Okay. So every grade will have a midpoint. Okay. Then you have also seen that there can be a grade overlap. The difference between min and max is called spread. What's the meaning of spread? What is the spread? Huh?
It is from the minimum salary to the maximum salary. What is the difference?
That's called the spread. So why?
So the spread is for us to
Absolutely.
anticipate promotions or increments or whatever we are planning for.
Yeah. So this is also called width, or it's also called salary range spread. The fundamental rule or the principle in a pay structure is that I can show you, I think. Where is it? That in organizations, oh, it's here. The spread is lower at lower levels and higher at higher levels. The spread is lower at lower levels, say 20%, 30%, and higher at higher levels. Why? Why is the spread higher at higher levels?
Because the increments or promotions that you are providing in the higher levels will be higher.
That also, but more importantly, the impact, the complexity, everything is much higher. If you have noticed, the point value of a job at a higher level is much higher. So therefore, the number of years, the tenuity is much more. Like when a person is promoted from a middle level to higher level, if you have noticed, he stays at least for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. So if you do not have a wide spread, what happens? You cannot have pay progression. What will happen? In 2 years, 3 years, he will reach the maximum. Then if he reaches the maximum, then what happens? Either you have to promote him or stop giving him increments. The level of complexity is lower in the lower jobs as in compared to higher jobs. So for a person at a lower level, within 2 or 3 years, you can get promotion. But at a higher level, it takes a longer time to get promotion. Got it? So that is why you have to have a wider spread as you at a middle level and a top management. And at a lower level, the spread is typically 20 to 30%. Got it? Okay. So that's one principle we have to keep in mind. Okay. Having said that, now we are coming to, so now every grade will have what? Minimum, maximum, and midpoint. This is very, very important. Now, what is the midpoint here?
95,000.
75,000.
75,000.
Say, for example, because it is plus minus 20%, it is at a entry level or at L2. This midpoint, I will position it based on my pay policy. This 75,000 could be at a minimum of market, or at a P25, or at a P50, depending on my pay policy. Are you with me now? All of you, this is very important. This pegging or this positioning of this midpoint is dependent on my policy, my pay policy. How competitive I want to become. Say, for example, this is a very critical position. So this 75,000, probably it is P50. Okay. So
Yeah.
now this becomes your midpoint. That P50, P75 becomes your midpoint, and you will create a band. Got it? Depending on what range you want. Simple? Okay. You will be getting that. Now you also have to understand that there are certain things. I'm sure everybody has heard about it. Compa ratio. Have you heard of compa ratio? Anybody? Just like that? If anybody is in that, what is compa ratio? As the word suggests, it's a ratio. No? Ratio means you must have 2 data points. So what is it? It's a ratio when you measure, it's a measure of what? Your salary, not salary range or salary, your salary. Say, for example, if I want to know what is the comp ratio of Avik, I will say his base salary divided by the midpoint of that salary band. Now he might be in certain salary band, min max is there. So divided by the midpoint will give that comp ratio. So comp ratio can be in terms of what? Decimals, or you also can measure it in percentage. Okay. So for example, when a comp ratio is 100%, that means he is at the midpoint of that band. But if he is at 80%, he is before the midpoint. If he is 110%, he is after the midpoint. But what is the significance? Why should you calculate comp ratio, and what impact does it make? With the help of comp ratio, I only get to know the pay positioning of this employee. What am I getting? I'm getting to know pay positioning of the employee. That means I'll give you an example. Say, for example, Avik, I'm again coming to that simple. Avik's salary band is 8,000 to 12,000. Okay? Think about it. I'll put it here only. It will be easier for Avik's salary band is 8,000 to. I'm giving a simple number so that. Okay? His salary is 9,000. So what will be his comp ratio? I told you that 9,000.
9,000 by 12,000.
9,000 divided by
12,000.
No. Midpoint. Midpoint will be.
Oh, 12,000 minus 8,000.
9,000 divided by 10,000.
Average of the two. Okay. Got it. Got it.
I'm so sorry. 1 second. Okay. Multiplied by 100. So it will be 90%. It will be 90%. What does it mean? Maybe he's a new employee, so he's at 90%. Or maybe he is not a very great employee, that's why he got less increments. Okay. Or maybe he was recruited at a time when salaries were very less, that's why he's at a 90%. There could be 3-4 reasons, but that doesn't mean that I have to give him, push him up to higher comp ratio. No, it depends on his performance. That's a call I will take. Performance, criticality, what value he brings in. So just by knowing comp ratio doesn't, but I can calculate comp ratio at an individual level, at a team level, at an organization level. So if my comp ratio is very high at an organization level, what will it indicate? Quick, what will it indicate? Say at an organization level, I have a comp ratio of 120%. What will it indicate?
We are paying more.
Absolutely. The wage cost is very high. I have to then look at where, under which vertical, or where am I paying more? Okay. So
Yes,
it will give me a good indication of, because obviously wage cost is directly related to profits. Okay. You can do it at a team level. You can do it at, or if I'm giving comp ratios, again, where do you calculate comp ratios? Annual increments. Now, Avik and Sadish are 2 employees working in, as L&D people in the same grade. But Avik is at 100% and Sadish is at 120% comp ratio. Both have got the same rating, 4 and 4. But now what will I do? I will reduce the increment for Sadish and increase the increment for Avik, because performance-wise rating is the same. So how do I bring him closer? Because fairness, I have to give them, and so it is used during annual increment. Again, you don't look at just comp ratios, you'll also look at performance, because you want to retain your top performers, you want to be fair, so you will ensure that you are. So these are the times where you are using a comp ratio. Then there's another thing called red circle, blue circle. So
ma'am, one question, one quick question. Suppose My minimum range is 8,000, maximum is 12,000. So the mid is 10,000, which is the average
Where
of
does your minimum come? Yours? No.
uh,
Your salary
for my
range,
role. For my role, the minimum is
salary
8,000.
range, salary band.
Salary range, yes, yes. Minimum 8,000, maximum 12,000. So that gives an average of 10,000. And my salary,
Not average. Midpoint is
midpoint,
10,000.
midpoint.
So in salary range, you don't calculate average at all. Midpoint is 10,000. Okay.
Midpoint is 10,000.
Hmm.
So what I draw is 9,000. So 9,000 by divided by 10,000 is the comp ratio, which is 90% in this case.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if I'm a very good performer, and if I've surpassed that 12,000 maximum, and if I'm drawing 14,000 now, so my comp ratio becomes 140%. Now, as a company HR, I'm not reducing that person's salary because that person is good. So do I think of reconsidering like to enhance the maximum range from 12,000 to 14,000, revise
So
it?
you're busting your salary structure. You
Hmm.
can't do that for one individual. So salary structures are bust. You can't bust your salary structure.
Gotcha,
So what
gotcha.
does it mean? When does it happen? If you're bringing people at beyond the midpoint, then that guy will get 1, 2 increments and reach the maximum. Then after that, you can't give increment. You are giving him a lump sum performance allowance only, but no increment. Okay. So that means year on year he's getting only performance bonus, but he's not getting increment. So he'll be demotivated. That's why you have to be very strict. Recruitment policy, comp ratio 80. Promotion policy 110%. Because these are certain principles you have to follow. Okay. Otherwise, what will happen? If you reach the what situation you gave is red circle, then after that, where will he go? You are demotivating a bright person. So don't bring him beyond the midpoint.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Then what is green circle? That means you are paying lesser than the minimum of that range. So typically you have to keep into consideration that you should definitely at least starting from the minimum and do not land into, because red circle landing means you will demotivate a person. So unless and until the person is very good, and you are saying, that's why overlapping becomes important. So you want to promote a person, promote a person, all right? Then what happens? So sometimes that overlap gives you the leverage of promoting people, much before they reach the maximum. It all depends on what kind of structure you have, narrow banding or broad banding, because narrow banding means every 2, 3 years, based on seniority, you are pushing people up, irrespective of whether there is higher responsibility or not. Okay. Now, having said that, quickly only one exercise, very interesting, and then we can close. We'll do it here only. All of you should do. Please, there are 2 exercises, right? You all did one already. For comp ratio, can you just Avi, can you share the screen? Okay. I want you all to calculate comp ratios just for 2 or 3 so that you have understood the concept. Do you know how to calculate here? What is the data you need? You need midpoint and you need the current salary of the person. So like, for example, Alice, the current salary is 54,000. The midpoint is 60,000. Now, how will you do comp ratio formula?
54,000 divided by 60,000.
60,000 multiplied by 100. It will give you a comp ratio percentage. Got it? Yeah. So if you can do just 3 or 4, and then we'll analyze. We'll make some recommendations.
Yes, we can.
I just took the mid to a new this thing, so it will be the calculations will be easy. So the comp ratios will be
54,000 divided by 60,000 multiplied by 100.
Oh, it's already in percentages, that's why.
No, it must be 90%.
Yeah. So it's already there it's already in percentage format, that's why.
Then, yeah, you can drag it. Then we will do okay. Now look at this data. So 90%, okay? 96%. Who is being paid high in these jobs? Can you tell me?
106% here.
Yeah,
The
project
project
manager,
Actually,
106%. Financial analyst also,
HR
and
specialist.
105,
special-
100. Okay. Yeah. Who is being paid the lowest and who needs a, say if he's a very good performer. If you see marketing manager, he's a very good performer. So that means marketing manager is at a lower comp ratio. Now you have to dig data saying that what is his performance record? Is he a critical resource? Then for how many years he has been there in that? Was there any market correction or is it compression, pay compression? You know what is pay compression? I'm using a term, pay compression means that he was recruited when the salary was very low. So that means he's still at a 90%. Pardon? Yeah. So therefore, market correction has to take place, right? It hasn't taken place. So his comp ratio is sitting at a low comp ratio. So here the recommendation will be that the marketing manager, you need to look at his what? Salary. Got it? So it helps you to understand. Now, just go to the next one now. Let's quickly do the other one. There's another.
This one?
Yeah. You can do just one. Calculate percentile. Okay. Now, this is the data, okay, of a grade 2 with 1 to 3 years, and this is the market median data. Now, you have to calculate 10th percentile. Don't calculate 10th percentile. Calculate 50th percentile and 75th percentile. That's it.
So it's percentile and the data and then 0.75. Oh, sorry. You want the 50th percentile?
Are you sure? I'm not having the data, guys. Percentile will be array. You getting me?
The
Yeah.
percentile will be the salaries array.
Yes, correct.
And 0.75 for the 75th percentile.
Yeah, 0.75.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. 50th percentile is how much?
.50.
Correct. I'm not seeing. So definitely what the current annual pay of grade 2, 1 to 2 years, which is 6,20,020 is much higher than even the, look at 90th percentile. So they are really paying good amount of salary.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So everybody's on track. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let us go to salary design. Okay. Make it little bigger. These are the job points and this is the market salary. Okay. So develop a salary structure. So quickly calculate the, what is it? Salary. No. First of all, you have to calculate salary. What will you give? What will you do? Okay. I want you to do it as a homework because first step 1, what will you do? You tell me. Step 1, what will you do? Remember our second session 2.
We will put all those in the vertical
No.
column.
Calculate slope and
Okay. Yes.
intercept. Calculate slope and
Intercept,
intercept
yes,
value. Calculate slope and intercept value and then calculate pay line salary. Got it? How? Okay, I'll just show you one. Calculate slope and intercept. How will you do that?
Non-wise are this.
Market salary is Y. and job point is X. Don't do the other way around.
Yeah.
What is Yeah, calculate slope value, calculate intercept value.
Intercept is known Y's are salaries.
Known X's are job points. Okay. Now to know whether it is really correct or not, why don't you select the data? Go to insert,
Input is scatter.
go to scatter.
Formula.
Click on that. Then click on any job point. Click on any job point. Okay, I'll tell you, just delete this. Why it came like this for you? Because you selected the data which include job point, market data. Just select only the data. Don't insert.
No, those words.
Now,
Don't select those words.
click
Only
on
leave
any
it.
job point. Quick layout. Can you see left side quick layout under the insert? Quick layout. Go to F. Make it little bigger and check whether the same thing has come. Absolutely. It has come, right?
Yeah.
So your slope value and intercept value are right. Even by Excel formula, it's right. And even by the graph formula. Now, what will you do? What is the formula? To calculate the salary of junior analyst. Slope multiplied by point value plus intercept. It is given there. No, Y salary is equal to?
Yes.
Have you noticed that formula is given there also?
Yes, yes.
What changes?
So-
Only the point value changes. The other things remain constant.
AX plus B.
What is job point?
Pardon?
Ma'am, what
Job
is
point.
job point?
Yeah. These job points, they are actually point value of the job which have been arrived at by doing job evaluation through point plan method. Okay? So I am giving points. So it's called job evaluation. Got it?
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Yeah. So then higher the points, higher is the job. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Say, for example, if you look at 1,000 points as manager and junior analyst is 2,000, there is something called, we talk about when we create grades. 1 second, I'll just tell this meaning. So there is something called vertical distance. So what is the vertical distance between in these jobs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs are there. Which is your lowest job? Junior analyst 200. Which is your highest job? Manager 1,000. So what is the vertical distance? 800.
800.
Got it? 800. So when you are actually making grades, right? So you will take into count the vertical distance, and at a lower level, you will have the cutoff points for points will be a little lesser, and at higher grades, you will have the cutoff points will be higher. Means you have to make grades now. Okay. But since the jobs are very few here, so junior analyst 200 and 400 points will be clubbed as one grade. Then senior analyst. So you'll also look at job description because you want to take a natural kind of a cutoff. Because if you look at the responsibility and impact, if it is much, much higher, then it will be bucketed into another grade. So here easily what I can see is 3 grades. Junior analyst 1 grade, senior analyst, lead analyst 1 grade, manager will be 1 grade. Okay. Higher the point plan.
How come
higher
it comes to 800?
job.
Can you please repeat once?
Pardon?
Sorry for the interruption, ma'am, but how come it's come to 800? Can you please repeat once?
No. How it comes 800? This has been evaluated. Okay. The job description, job evaluation has been done, taking compensable factors. So there is a methodology
No.
there.
Ma'am, vertical distance. I'm talking about the vertical
Vertical
distance.
distance.
The highest point to last.
Vertical distance is the distance between the points from job to job. So typically, when you want to determine the number of grades, you take the point value of the lowest job and the point value of the highest job, and you will, see the difference. So the vertical distance is 800, 200, 1,000. What is 1000 minus 200? How much?
Okay. Acha, got it. Yes, ma'am.
800. Now, also 200 is analyst, 400 is junior analyst, 200, analyst is 400. So the distance between that job and that job is 200. Okay. But you also want to see, as the value, job value. I'm not talking about salary, job value. Job value is built by responsibility, complexity, impact, etc. So the job value in point plan will go up only when these factors go up. Are you getting me? The other people who have done the job evaluation, Avik and Sadish. Guys, have you
Yeah.
Yes,
huh?
we can
You
remember. Yes.
understood? The point,
Yeah.
the number, this is a representative, it signifies job value. And how did we determine job value? Those compensable factors. As they become complex and complex, the value goes up. And the value is projected or it's shown in point value. Got it?
Yes.
So that's how. So now you know how to calculate the pay line and then you will create the grades. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you will get homework on all these parameters, guys, and you will be able to do it. If still you have any kind of doubts, challenges, you feel free to, text messages either to Vilma, me, and we are always there to help you out for clarity. But I hope the session gave you some clarity in terms of what is external equity, what is salary survey, how do you collate data, how do you analyze, how do you then look at percentiles, huh? And then how do you then get to know where are you vis-a-vis your market position, and then where do you want to be, right? And then how do you make that market correction and then build salary ranges or salary bands. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, guys. Thank you so much.